And now we're actually here. We're not even back. We're actually live. What's going on? Week 9. Wow. Take 2 is tough, huh? Week 9 Around the Arc pregame show presented by Sportsbook Passing League. Comment stuff in. We'll get that up and going. Let's do it all over again. No Limit and Goon. And then we also have Serial Killers and Stranger Danger. We can kind of quickly go over that because that'd be painful to do the whole thing again. Which of those undefeated teams do you think has the best chance to fall tonight? And then really clarify that 1 and 2 seed situation.
I'll make it short and sweet. No limit, just because Matt Marconi's on the other side. He can go for 30 at any point.
Yep, no limit as well. Marconi's probably going to go for 40 tonight. I'm sure he's going to carry the team on his shoulders tonight.
I'm going to go with Serial Killers because I think No Limit is able to shut down Goon Squad, and Stranger Danger has good defense to put up against them.
I'm also going to go with No Limit for all the same reasons these guys said, Matt Marconi, and there's a tougher opponent for No Limit. No Limit has a tougher opponent than Serial Killers.
Mm-hmm. True. I know we're 5 minutes late. Comment in some playoff stuff, and we will get to that in a second. We also quickly touched on Lob and Sportslook, both 1 and 5. This, I think, is actually a very good debate question. Which team has played more like their record to this point in the season? Again, 2 teams we thought would be higher in the standings, but both find themselves 1 and 5.
I think Lob 203 is probably the lesser of the two. Sportslook hasn't played nearly as hard of a schedule. We've all said on air multiple times how hard the schedule was for Lob 203. Either of these teams really could be more of a 3-win, 4-win team, but just a matter of they haven't been able to close out in the close games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'll agree that Lob 203 may be a better team, but they're both on pretty even playing fields, in my opinion. I feel like this game's going to come down to the wire, and both those teams are kind of missing the presence to kind of give the ball to in the end of the fourth and break the press, maybe get a bucket if they need it, and that's what's kind of killed them and why they only have 1 win each.
Yeah, Sportslook's been a really inconsistent team. Like, you never really know who's going to show up. A couple weeks ago when they lost to White Magic, they didn't have anyone on the bench. It was kind of just Scott Benzing. All by himself, like when Tyrell Holmes didn't show up. I think he got into like a car accident or something that night. But yeah, I mean, if their whole squad shows up, I see no reason why they can't pull out the win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Sportslook is more like the 1 and 5 team. You know, like we've all said, Lob 203 has had that really tough schedule, and Sportslook has just been inconsistent with their players. You know, both of them, neither of the teams are good at ending the games, though. Fourth period comes along and they're both weak.
True, that'll be big tonight, we think, in a game that should be one of the closer ones. 1 person watching, nice. Comment in if you have a question for us. I know we're a little late too, which
we appreciate viewers.
We appreciate you. Temptations Run TMC, another game with teams with identical records. This time 4 and 2. Which of those 2 teams do you guys think needs to win more? And let me rattle off their schedules real quick. After tonight's game for Temptations, they have the Renegades and then No Limit, both next week. And Run TMC will take on Lob 203 and Sportslook next week. So which of those 2 teams needs to win more tonight?
I feel like Temptations needs to win more so tonight, not only because they have a tougher schedule to close out the season, but they probably need to avoid a team that can kind of take away Carmine and like play them later in the playoffs and just deal with it maybe once or twice as opposed to three or 4 times if they were supposed to win. They have trouble with teams that are deep and that have athletic guards, and a lot of the top teams in this league have athletic guards. Like even your team has an athletic guard, like your brother Matt, that can kind of maybe neutralize him a bit. Now, obviously, he's going to get his points, but maybe neutralize him and make other people step up. So I feel like they need to win more so than you guys, but obviously you're both going to fight hard.
I'm going to disagree because with the playoffs right around the corner, I think that Run TMC needs to win now more than ever because after this game, like we were just talking about, they got 2 1 and 5 teams, so they're going to coast, after this. So they really need this win to get that momentum with the playoffs right around the corner.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Ellis here. I think that it's going to be more of Run TMC needing the win tonight just because of that simple fact that they have a weak schedule for the rest of the way out. This is going to be their last true test before the playoffs. Might be good to work out any kinks. Carmine Santarelli is going to do his thing. We'll see if you guys can contain him. It's been tough to do.
I'm going to disagree with both of that. I think Temptations really needs this win. They've been in a little bit of a slump. They need to figure something out. And if they don't figure something out this week, they're not going to figure it out the next 2 weeks.
I thought Kevin was actually asking where we were on Facebook. He's actually here. Kevin's actually right outside. Yes, we're in a new location. Kevin was asking where we are, like literally, physically, like where are you standing in sports. Anything about Serial and Stranger? I know that's the other game we haven't really touched on. There's really no comments.
There's not much to discuss. Should be a blowout. I don't see anything positive
All
coming
right,
for
so,
Stranger Danger.
since that's going to be the consensus, what does Stranger have to do to keep the game close in the fourth, which they did against No Limit, which they were able to do against other teams, and then can they obviously, all you can ask is a close game in the fourth, and then kind of take your chances. So what do they have to do to get to that point against the serial killers?
Defense. It's going to be a lot of concentration on defense on Stranger Danger's part, because we've seen that serial killers is a high scoring team, and the way to stop them, just like stopping the temptations, it's all about the defense.
I agree that defense is key, but I think the biggest key for them to keep this game close is to keep Steve Eccles on the court. So if he's off the court, they don't have another guy to bring up the ball, to be a point guard, to get you a bucket when you need it. And even if he's on the court, he needs to be there mentally today. He can't let the refs get in his head. He can't let Ty get in his head. He needs to be there, mind, sound, and body for them to win.
That's going to be, I think, the biggest factor in this game is if Stephen Eccles can keep his head, keep his composure. He's not the only one in this league that has a problem doing that, but that's going to be a big impact on whether or not Stranger Danger is able to.
Yeah, but
keep it
he
close.
can't single-handedly get them the win. I mean, someone else is going to have to step up.
I totally agree, but
I mean, you could look for Will Matthew to step up, but you don't want to set your
huge
expectations too high.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
Yes, Tyler is behind the camera. Here's one thing. You can comment questions in. We'll take a few for the playoffs, but Kevin asked yesterday, who do you guys have winning it all? Now, you all are going to fill out brackets when we get to that point. But right now, not knowing the matchups, quickly, who do you have? Who do you have winning it all?
No Limit.
Serial killers.
No Limit.
Serial killers.
Wow, two serial killers picks, no redemption. We have Tyler picking redemption, and no, that wasn't a shot at you, Jabril. I don't know about anything. There hasn't been any shots fired at all. But not picking the Monstars, not picking the Monstars to win it all, maybe a shot or redemption.
They're on the slide.
That's true, but the playoffs, it's going to be all about who plays who.
They could kick him into gear. You never know.
Mike Davis doesn't lose.
Kevin Rivera doesn't lose. Those are both facts.
True.
Those are
That's
both
true.
facts. Those are both facts.
True.
Any
As soon as he
last
hears
comments
that,
about
there's
tonight's
headphones on
games?
the delay.
I'm leaving. Kevin's out. We've lost a fan watching through the glass. Any last comments about tonight's game? Some good ones.
Good
and
luck,
again,
Joe.
thank you very much. We're
Good
going to
luck,
need it. And then we'll have the updated standings and playoff picture on the post game, which I thought went very well yesterday as trying to decipher what a lot of those games mean moving forward. But yeah, so tonight will be a lot of fun. We'll have more clarity for the week. And then next week, 2 big nights of games that obviously will decide the playoff picture. But tune into the post game. Before then, we have games here at InSports in Trumbull. And then, as always, Snapchat highlights. And we're going to be putting up some posts that have the actual playoff seeds. And then maybe even a mock bracket of who's where after tonight. And we will get that up as well. So stay tuned for that. Jabril, hopefully we'll see you tonight as in fan mode. Should be nice. And some good games. We'll see you at InSports to start at 9:15 tonight. And stay tuned for that post game.